Hey besties, my name is Mina. Welcome to my channel, Mina Reads, and today I'm starting a new weekly reading vlog. So this is going to be episode 2 of the English Major Diaries, and I'm just going to be taking you through my week as an English major and all of the stuff that I'm going to be reading and doing this week. This week is actually going to be kind of a busy week for me, not necessarily school-wise, but like have a number of social events planned and school stuff to do. Also, my dishwasher is running, so you can probably hear it, but like ignore that. So right now I'm making lunch and I just got back from the grocery store, which I probably showed you in a little montage. So let me show you what I got. Let me do this little grocery store haul. So the first thing I got this ginger beer thing because I want to drink it with my lunch, and I'm obsessed with ginger beer. I got 2 packages of tofu because I'm an absolute tofu fiend. I got some cream cheese for my breakfast. I got these little mini pumpkins because I couldn't leave them at the store. Look how cute they are. You see it? It's so cute. So I had to get them. And I also got this new stir fry to try. Sweet chili sauce with honey. So I'm excited. I'm hoping that it's going to be very spicy. I got some books from the little free library near the supermarket that I went to. So I got 2 books. This one is pretty random. How to Recognize a Commitment-Phobic Man Before He Breaks Your Heart, also known as Men Who Can't Love. So, I mean, that seems like pertinent information, you know, so I said, why not? I'm gonna pick it up. My mom, she's like obsessed with self-help books, and so I'm like, maybe I should read one, you know, maybe there's some merit to it. So I'm gonna try it. Will I read it anytime soon? Probably not. And then I got this one. This is called The Good House by Tananarive Due. And Tananarive Due is actually like a pretty popular like black horror fiction writer. So I have another book by her, and it's about like immortals, I think. And this one is about like, I think a haunted house or something like that. So yeah, I want to try this one. It's spooky season and all that good shit. So I got this. And I actually have one more book to haul. Okay, so the last thing in my little haul is A Lot Like Adios by Alexis Daria. Yeah, Alexis Daria. This is a new romance release and the cover is pretty. I read the first book in the series and I honestly didn't like it, but I want to give the author a second chance. I really do. So I decided to buy it, and even if I end up hating it, at least the cover's pretty, right? Yeah. Okay, so that was my very long-winded intro. Thank you so much for tuning in, and yeah, I'll give you some updates on like what I'm reading, what I'm doing for school in a bit. Hi, so it's Tuesday and I've got some stuff to do today. I have an eye doctor's appointment, I've got a class later, and I've got like some homework to do and stuff. But right now I've got a little bit of free time, so I'm getting some reading in, and I've just started Not My Type by Evie Mitchell, and this is a romance with a disabled protagonist. So her name is Frankie and she's a wheelchair user, and basically she has this podcast that's all about like accessibility issues, I guess. She's a sexologist, and so one day she gets a listener of her podcast writes into her and asks her about accessible bondage. Like, is it possible to engage in like shibari if you are disabled? And so basically she finds this guy who's like a rope master, and his name is Jay, and she like attends his rope classes. I don't know exactly what to call them, but like she attends one of his rope classes and they like become close. I'm about 30% into it, and I don't know if I love the writing of it. Like, I don't know, it's not like 100% amazing writing, but I do like the concept, and I do think the characters are like kind of cute. I feel like some of the dialogue, it really feels like a PSA. It feels like I don't know, like the way that they talk to each other is just very like Instagram infographic or something. Like, it doesn't feel like natural flow of conversation, you know what I mean? So I don't absolutely love the writing, but I'm gonna keep reading and see how I feel, and maybe I'll like warm up to it more. So yeah, like I said, I'm about 30% into it, and the book is only like 200 pages, so that's pretty short. I think I could maybe finish it today. Besties, you won't believe what I've just seen. I cannot believe my eyes. This is a hate crime. This is a hate crime, and I hated it. Because, what? Who uses this phrase in like a sexy way? Like what? Huh? I can't deal. I can't deal. Good morning, besties. It's Wednesday. So yesterday I was reading Not My Type by Evie Mitchell, and I did end up finishing that last night, and I did not enjoy it, besties. I really wanted to like it. I really wanted to like it. I have been hyped for it for, I won't say months, but like weeks, ever since I saw the cover reveal, because the cover is so beautiful. But I just did not enjoy this book. Like, I really did not vibe with the writing and the author's like dialogue choices, the author's sense of humor. Like, none of that was really landing for me. I really feel like the story, the romance itself, is incredibly rushed, and there's really no true development of their relationship. I just feel like their relationship is just kind of like there. It's just a given, and there's nothing that really makes me feel like, oh my god, yeah, they're a good match for each other, they work together so well. Like, there's just no development. And then beyond that fact, I also felt like the story was structured weird, the pacing was off, there was like this huge time jump that happens, and then the big conflict is centered around Jay, the male love interest, being a fuckboy, but the author clearly has a very wrong perception of what it means to be a fuckboy, because he gets called a fuckboy for wanting to be in a committed relationship with a woman who cheated on him, but somehow he's the fuckboy in this situation. And like, most of the central conflict of the story is like around that wrong definition of fuckboy. It just doesn't make any fucking sense. I didn't like it. I really didn't like it. I wanted to like it, but I didn't. Also, I feel like the story was trying so hard to be like have the characters be like quirky and original, particularly the male love interest. Like, tell me why this man had like life-size dinosaur statues in his front yard. What is this? Like, what are you talking about? Like, it was just such a weird detail, but the author kept talking about it all the time like it was like peak comedy, but it was just weird. Like, it was just strange to me. I don't know. So this was really not for me, besties. It really did not work for me, and I can't say that I enjoyed it, so I gave it 2 stars. It just wasn't for me. But I think that, you know, everybody's like a unique reader, so maybe it'll work for you, maybe you'll like it. So I don't want to say completely don't read it. I do love the fact that this was a disability romance, and so our main character, Frankie, she is a wheelchair user, and I like how they just showed like really casually how she navigates her everyday life. I really did appreciate being able to see that in a romance, but yeah, it just wasn't enough to make me be like, this is such a good book. So I'm a bit sad about it. But I didn't stay sad for long, because I started a new book, and this book is called Bad Alpha by, who is it by? Catherine Moon. And oh my god, you guys, okay, listen, do not judge me for reading about the omegaverse. Like,
what? I love garbage.
Like, don't judge me. And if you don't know what the omegaverse is, I don't know. The omegaverse is basically like, there are people who are alphas, betas, and omegas, and like, it's like a biological designation or whatever, and there's usually like the main trope of the story or whatever is that like alphas and omegas are getting in relationships with each other, and omegas are like going into heat and stuff. Listen, I understand. It sounded real wild and real outlandish, but this book is so fun, you guys. Okay, so Bad Alpha is about this character named Eve, and Eve is an alpha and a hit woman, and she has been like hired to kill this guy named Adam. So did we see the Adam and Eve reference? I fucking love that shit. Anyway, she's been hired to kill this guy Adam, and when she gets there to kill him, she's like, oh no, he's hot. So they end up hooking up, and then they accidentally on purpose become like bond mates. And so now she, instead of killing him, is protecting him from the people who are out to get him. And this is like a reverse harem, so there's going to be like other partners introduced later in the story. But Girl, it's giving action, it's giving sexy, it's giving everything that I needed it to give, everything that I have been wanting to read for so long. It's just so good, you guys. It's like, I'm loving it. I'm like 25% into it. No, maybe like 30% into it actually, and it is so good so far. I'm having a great time with it. Like, yeah, it's good. Okay, so to quickly update you on some other stuff that's happening, so today is Wednesday, so I have 3 classes. I have my intellectual heritage class, which is just basically a philosophy class, and in that class we're reading Machiavelli's The Prince. So I need to read a few pages of that this morning. I'm also have my mythology class today, and in my mythology class we're reading Jason and the Argonauts. And then, what is it? What else? Oh, and then after that I have my women in fiction class in the afternoon, and that class we're currently like discussing Americana by Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie. We already finished that like last week or the week before, but today I have to do a presentation. So yeah, very not excited to do the presentation, but hopefully it's gonna go well. I have some group members and hopefully it'll be okay. But yeah, so today I've got to, you know, go to class. I also need to film some videos and like film and edit some videos, because I finally got like a piece that I need so that I can import videos to my new laptop. Because I don't know if I told you guys about it, but like my old laptop, it got completely fucked up, so I had to buy a new one and all that, and that's why there's been absolutely no content for like end of September, early October. But yeah, so I finally got the piece that I need so I can start editing videos again. And yeah, so I need to film, I need to edit. I also supposedly have a date today, but I don't know about that one. We'll see, we'll have to see. Hello besties, so it is much later in the day. I think it's like 5 or 6 o'clock. Yeah, it's almost 6 o'clock, and I'm currently doing some laundry and stuff, but I need to do a report. It's like a 2-page report for my women in fiction class, so I'm gonna do that now. I'm like 50% into Bad Alpha, and I'm absolutely loving it. I love it so much. It's giving like, I was gonna say it's giving like a James Bond vibe, but I don't know, because they're like investigating this evil corporation, and there's a lot of like fighting and action scenes, and the main girl in this, Eve, she's such a badass, and she's so emotionally unavailable, and I fucking love her. She's an icon, she's a legend, and she's the moment. This book is really hot, and it's really interesting. Like the character dynamics, the relationship dynamics, they're all so interesting, and I'm just kind of eating it up. I really am. So we love to see it. But I did actually get 2 packages, so I'm gonna open them. I bought these off of Thrift books. So the first thing that I got is a copy of Malice by John Gwynne. This is, I feel like this is like supposed to be like a Viking inspired fantasy, I think. I might be wrong about that, but I do know that my friend Erin really liked it, so I'm picking it up on her recommendation. And then the other book that I got is actually for a buddy read with Erin, so this is basically just a Book the Busy inspired haul, I guess. So this is a paperback copy of Fire and Blood by George R.R. Martin. It's a prequel to Game of Thrones, and it's completely about like the Targaryen dynasty. And yeah, I want to read this because it's getting a show, House of Dragons or whatever. I'm excited about it. I love and hate Game of Thrones, but mostly love. And so I'm excited about the show, and I do want to read this. So I'm supposed to be buddy reading it with Erin, and I'm very excited about it. Okay, hi you guys. So today I don't have any classes. It's Thursday. I don't have any classes today because my one class that I had today was canceled. And so I'm just doing some work. I'm editing a video right now. I'm going to get my wrap up out. It's going to be late as hell, but I'm going to get my wrap up out. And what else? Today I had a business phone call. I need to handle like some business emails. I need to like clean my room, and I definitely want to do a little bit of homework maybe. Today is my friend's birthday, and so we're going to a birthday dinner for her tonight. So I have about 1,000,001 things to do, even though I don't have class today. So I'm kind of scrambling and everything, but I did want to quickly update you. I have read some more of Bad Alpha, and it is so good, you guys, and you'll never believe it. My favorite thing has just occurred. Men are getting pegged. It's really my day. It's really my day. I love this book. Catherine Moon, you're my new best friend, and I'm going to read everything that she has ever written because she's simply that girl. She really is. Okay, so update concluded. I will get back to you when I finish a few of the things on my to-do list. Hi friends. So I'm going to a birthday dinner for one of my close friends, and so I'm getting ready right now, and I feel like I'm kind of doing the most, but I figured I'm going to show you my outfit. Like, why not? So I don't even know if you can fully see me because the tripod is not tall enough, but this is what I'm wearing. On Bad Alpha, I am about 75% into it. It's taking me a long time to read it because this is a really long book. It's like 500 pages or something. Catherine Moon, she really likes writing a very long book, and honestly, I'm not mad at it. I really like this book, and I think that the length is definitely necessary to I don't know, like explore the different kind of character and relationship dynamics that exist within this like whole harem situation that's going on. Today I was kind of productive. I did some of my mythology coursework. We've been reading about Jason and the Argonauts, as well as like Jason and Medea from Euripides. And so I did some reading, and we have to do like an annotation assignment that we need to like submit. So I did that earlier. For my women in fiction class, we are finally wrapping up our section on Americana by Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie, and we are moving on to Girl, Woman, Other by Bernardine Alvaristo, and I'm excited to read this. I need to read up to page like 215 by Monday's class, so I'm probably going to get a start on this tomorrow, but today I really just want to kind of sit and relax and just read my book. So I want to maybe possibly try to knock out reading Bad Alpha tonight. Okay, hey y'all, so I finally finished reading Bad Alpha. I say that, but I feel like it took me like 3 or 4 days to read it, and it was like a 500-page book. So I mean, I was doing my best, right? Like, I shouldn't be too hard on myself. But it did take me some time to read it, and I will say that I really enjoyed it, but I do have some complaints. So I really think that the book was just too long. Like I said, it was like 500 pages. Like the Kindle copy was like 500 pages, and I just think that it was a bit too long. Because the main plot is that Eve is this hit woman, and she meets this guy Adam. He's her mark. She's supposed to kill him, but things do not go that way. They end up banging, and like they're bonded. So because this happens, they're like now on the run from Eve's employers. And then as things develop, we find out that Eve's employers are these people who are involved in like a human trafficking scheme or whatever. So there's like this plot line where Adam is looking for his sister who has been abducted by these people, and Eve is trying to like hunt down you know, who these people are that she works for, what do they want with her, and there's like all these like action portions of the story. And they're not safe because Eve's old employers are out to get her. They're like constantly sending men to fight her and stuff like that. And so she is like this one-woman army. She's like, she was giving James Bond, like, I don't know, she's really cool, right? She's giving Mission Impossible, Tom Cruise, you know, James Bond. I mean, she was giving all that, and she's like this action hero badass. But she decides that they need like more people to help her protect Adam, so she enlists these other alphas and she wants to like join their pack. And so the beginning of the story is a lot of like, you know, this wild stuff going on. There's a lot of action, like some espionage elements, as well as a whole bunch of like steamy goodness, right? But I feel like the middle of the book is really just exploring Eve's relationships with all of the men. So exploring her relationship with Adam, exploring her relationship with the 3 alphas that joined their pack, Garrett, Rory, and what was the other guy's name? Jamie. So it's about like exploring those relationships and how the dynamics work. While I enjoyed that and I really liked their like domesticity, and I liked reading about Eve like becoming a more emotionally available person and all that, and also it was like very, very steamy, very top notch in that department. I did have a good time, but I just felt like that middle section, it really loses sight of the main plot. And so in some places it just felt kind of dragged out, you know, because then at the end of the story, I'd say like the last 15% we jump back into the plot, and it's just like, I don't know exactly how to say it, but I think that the story was just a little bit too long, and it was paced a bit strangely to accommodate like the relationship development between all of the characters in this polyamorous relationship, and trying to do like this action plot line. Sort of a lot, just a bit longer than I think it maybe should have been, but I did have a good time reading it, so I'm gonna give it like 4 stars. And yeah, so this week I read Bad Alpha, which I gave 4 stars. I read Not My Type, which I gave 2 stars. I read Medea by Euripides, not the whole play, but like a bunch of different excerpts from it for my mythology class, as well as some of Jason and the Argonauts. What else did I read? I feel like I did some other reading. I also read Cosmocomics by Calvino, which was very interesting and confusing as hell. It's basically like literary science fiction, I guess you could say, and it's by this Italian author, and it was such a confusing reading experience, but I read that for my modern fiction class. And then, oh, and in my philosophy class, we've been reading Machiavelli's The Prince, so we finished reading that this week, and we have like to write a report for it that's due next week. So yeah, that's like what I've been up to. That's what's happening, what's popping, what's going on. And yeah, thank you so much for watching this episode of the English Major Diaries. I will see you all in my next video. Bye, you guys. Like, comment, and subscribe, and a special thank you to all of my wonderful patrons.